Welcome to this look at a new mod map on Farming Simulator 25 with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on Greenwood Forest. This is a new mod map out by AE Maping. There are no required mods to download. There are no custom crops and contracts are available. There are a few fields. I'll show you the map in just a minute. There are some peculiarities with this map. One, the download 1186.59 megabytes. That's 1.18 gigabyte download. Now, admittedly, there's no required mods, and we have had maps that have had a high gigabyte download and a load of required mods, which easily take it over a gigabyte. But what I can't wrap my head around on this map is why. You'll see as we go around. Now, it does say in the description, if you get onto the dirt roads, and you'll see when we drive down there, you can get bogged down very quickly with heavy machinery and equipment. So the ground deformation, now that's not across the whole map, that's on dirt tracks. So I'm trying to work out why it's such a high megabyte download. Anyway, there's that. There's also a potential issue with some of the productions. There's a couple of productions that have been added in as well. Anyway, we're at the start farm. The map looks like this, and I'll explain as we go around. So on New Farmer, we do start with plot 1. Field and plot prices are pretty good. 360. I mean, you look at the size of them. 209, 324. And a lot of these will take in a field and a load of stuff as well. So, like I say, there are contracts available on the fields there are on the map. There aren't a huge amount of fields, but when you do buy a plot, most of them you get the plot and a field. Not all of them, but most of them. And again, like I say, they're not too expensive, which is pretty good. Right down the bottom of the map here, we've got all of the various different sell points and these. There are a couple of others around the map we'll have a look at in just a moment. Yeah, we'll go into build mode. I'll show you in build mode. Anyway, so like I say, there's no required mods, but added in by the map maker. We have got shelter with photovoltaics, a production building with photovoltaics, and we've got a bulk hall has been added in. Then we go to factories. Under factories, Silver and Forest stuff-ish, we got barrel factory. Now we own the barrel factory. We start with that on the game mode. On all 3 game modes, you start with you own the barrel factory. So barrel factories, they're available. And then we've got here, we've got the iron furnace, because the barrel factory requires metal and wood for the banding and stuff for the barrels. So you need metal. Therefore, there's the iron furnace there, which requires iron ore to make metal. Now, there's a warehouse. I think you can buy metal at the warehouse if you wanted to, because the problem I've encountered is there's no iron ore on the map. There's no quarry. There's no iron mine, you know, like on Silver Run, where the iron ore's coming out constantly. There isn't one. There's not one available under build mode either to place. So, yeah, I'm puzzled by that. It kind of renders that not pointless, but I mean, you can go and buy metal rolls, but if you wanted to run it as I guess it's intended to be, it's an odd one. Maybe it'll get an update, potentially. Did I say slot count? We'll talk about slot count in a moment. So yeah, that was under factories. If we then go across to sell points, we have got the Silver Run Market sell point has been added in, and then the other thing I came across really was under plants. We come down on plants and we come a little bit further down, you see Greenwood Forest. There's a load of extra plants and bits and bobs have been added in. All very Silver Run Forest-esque, and you'll see when we get down the bottom, most of the productions and facilities are Silver Run Forest named. So we are here at the start farm on New Farmer. Big open expanse, plenty of room to add more stuff in if you want to, and all the buildings that are here already, you can remove them if you want to. The slot count on all 3 game modes is 1061. It does say there are 20 collectibles. I haven't found one personally yet, but it says there are 20. What else was under slot count? Yes, if you remove all the buildings, equipment and machinery, I got the slot count down from 1061 to 929. You can probably get it lower. There may be other things around the map you will be able to get rid of, remove if you want to. So, sleep and wardrobe trigger is just here. Over in our barn here, shed, storage space. We've got 2 tractors couple of front loaders with log forks for forestry. Now, when it says in the description, it talks about being surrounded by forest. Again, when you read the description before you come on the map, I'm thinking like thick, dense forest. It's actually fairly sparse. It's not beyond the realm of possibility to use various different mulchers and the various different devourers and things. You could remove a few trees, spend maybe 20 minutes, half hour, and get yourself a nice big open space to add more fields in if you wanted to. That can be part of your process clearing, but it's not thick, dense forest that's going to take you, you know, hours and hours and hours and hours to clear before you can even get the tiniest field in. So that kind of helps, I think. But as well as all your start machinery, so you've got forestry equipment for start machinery, but you do also have some farming stuff. Because on our start farm, we do have that field up the top there you start with. So, tree harvester down the side there. Come across here. We've got 2 trailers, one with, one without crane. Forwarder, wheel loader and log fork. Then in here we've got our sort of main farming equipment, I guess. So just in there, harvester, header and header trailer. Fuel tank 5,000 litres. The Quonset is empty, there's nothing in it but storage space. There's not a workshop trigger up here actually. I'm just thinking, did I find one in one of the buildings? I don't think I did. Apologies if I've missed it. And the same with the iron ore. If I've missed, I've gone airborne, and I've tried to go around where all the roadways are, off the roadways, have a look in sort of the corners, places where I think maybe there's a plot of land I've missed that's got the mine on or something. I can't find it. Like I say, apologies if I have missed it, but I can't seem to locate it. It does say in the description as well that it is fully DLC compatible. So, plough, we've got a Tash Fun winch system there. Cultivator, seeder as well. So as far as doing a bit of farming, you've got a little bit of equipment. Trailer, then we've got a silo there, 200,000 litre standard crop type silo. Now what I'm going to do is quite steep. I'm going to go head down here and then you'll see the trackways when we hit the bottom. I must say hit the bottom. It's like diving down. What have we got here? No, I don't think it is. Wowzers. I don't think this is here. No, just a shed fire pit. I suddenly thought, oh no, have I missed something? I don't think so. Because I even had a look in the rock structure that is actually to our left now over there. When I was sort of airborne, it looked like there was like a cave way you could go into. It wasn't, and that was there's a water plane. And it looks like there is, and when you walk into it, I didn't find anything in there, but we're going to go back up that direction anyway and round the map. But you'll see as soon as we hit the dirt track, you'll see the depth of the, and this is just the tractor. So you imagine them pulling a trailer with resources, full of logs, whatever it might be. It does say you can get bogged down very quickly, so something to be aware of. Probably quicker and easier to whiz across the grass. Like I say, as you can see here, it's not thick, heavily forested, so it's not like you have to stay on the tracks because the trees are too thick to get through. You can if you want to. So we've got rural farm, sell point just here. There is a kind of pond. I say pond, I mean it's in amongst all this rock formation just here. And then we've got a kind of a river. Again, it's sort of a raised, rocky. So just in there you can see that we've got a sort of watery, a body of water, let's just call it that. And I was concerned because I suddenly thought to myself, look at the map bottom left, I'm the wrong side of the river for where I need to be. But it's like this, it's kind of a trickling, and see what I mean, it's just a little bit clunky here and there. And I'm not, you know, I'm not knocking anybody, you know, like I say, I've never made a map, but you know, but when I do map tours, people will comment, people will message and say, it's this, it's that, and I've said it many times in map tours. Why didn't you mention this? Why didn't you say that? You know, so I'm not shying away from anything. It is what it is. I'm just showing it to you. Right. So we'll cross over just here. I guess once you've owned the land and stuff, you could buy and place maybe little bridges maybe landscape it a little bit potentially. We are going to some like geese. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get off the muddy track. We'll be able to go a little bit quicker, maybe. Yeah, about the same speed. We can head all the way up to the top of the map. Did I mention contracts are available? I did, didn't I? Yeah, because there's a few fields. Whether that will entail, that's the other thing. Have we got wood delivery contracts? Deadwood, hoeing, wood transport. Yes, we have. So there are going to be some of those. I haven't seen a rock breaking one come up at all. I was just looking actually as we drove past. There were a couple of clumps of sort of small rocks on the floor. So I thought, oh, maybe, you never know. There's a big old lake off to our left, just up here. Again, I didn't see anything by the side of it or anything. Big old lake here. I'm going to cut across here, up to the top. It's interesting as I'm trying to think. Yeah, we've got a warehouse up the top here, purchasing of pallets. I just suddenly thought when I was doing my prep, I had a look in the menu at the factories, and other than those two factories, the smelter and the barrel factory. If we go to here, so barrel factory owned, available sawmill and paper factory. And looking at the things you can make there, that's fairly straightforward. If we come back to there and come back into here, come back up and we go to our factories, just looking at the various different things that can be purchased. Where's our carpentry? Sawmill, Cooper. Is your barrels normally. Gone past it. Carpenter. No. Well, and I'll show you why I'm saying that, because when we click on here, look at the things you can purchase. Table, staircase railing, shingles, picture frame, pepper grinding, metal. So you can buy metal without having to do the iron ore, but again that kind of renders the iron furnace redundant, doesn't it? Floor tiles, easel, doghouse, chair. This is all Silver Run Forest stuff. But there are no factories for making it. Oh, that looks like a collectible. Look away. It is. Because we have got a museum down the bottom. 50 grand. And I think it then puts the statues in the museum like it does in Silver Run. It's that premise. So anyway, yeah, warehouse point there. You can buy all sorts of other stuff. It was just curious that all the things you could purchase there. And I suddenly thought, oh, I must have missed the productions on the map, but I can't find them either. So across the way over here, we have got the old sawmill, which can be purchased. Big old facility. And it does have a mill pond out to the side. These aren't the fastest tractors you start with either. So it's the fairly standard, again, it's the Silver Run Forest old sawmill, purchase point just there, and the various different bits. So what we're going to do now is head over the side here. The trackway does go off from the sort of the top end of the sawmill and loop around, but we're going to cut across here. And take the right hand one. We just missed the fork, which is about there. We want this one here. So as we head down the hill, we're going to come to, what was it? rural farm south. So we've had rural farm and we've had rural farm south. Now there's a couple of things on here. It's that thing whenever I'm doing a map tour, certain things make me smile. They make me smile because it was things that I used to get really wound up and frustrated by. And people say, yeah, but what about, and a lot of times people are very, what they said made a lot of sense, For me, if the map is north, south, east, west, and things are labelled as such, but people said, well, yeah, but what if you were coming out from a different direction? Well, north, south, east, west is always north, south, east, west. It doesn't matter which direction you're coming from. But what made me smile with this, and there's another one you'll see later on, this is Rural Farm South. It squeaks in. So Rural Farm South is just here. And we had Rural Farm already. I know I'm being pedantic, but it just made me smile. So here's Rural Farm South. If we go right the way across, there's Rural Farm. And Rural Farm is we're talking, it is technically north of that one. So it's not like one's right up at the north, one's at the south. But anyway, that's Rural Farm South. Behind Rural Farm South, we've got our animal dealer, and there's an animal dealer sell point as well around the back here. And then what we're going to do is head down in towards the town itself, to the rest of the sell points and facilities that are available. It's a little bit of a drive. I was going to try and cut across. I seem to recall, was this map on FS22? I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm indoors today, not in the man cave, because we've had a load of big deliveries today and I had to be indoors for them. Usually when I'm in the man cave at my main PC, I've got a file folder that's got all of my FS22, all my thumbnails and stuff are all saved. So what I can often do is when a map comes out, I think, I'm sure I've done this, I can go in and I can check the thumbnails, but I'm not out there today, so I'm not sure. Should we cut across? Can we cut too sharp across? But it's just the layout of it seems familiar. Not all of it. So, just down here, paper factory on our left, available for purchase and operation. We come onto the road, just here. This was like this earlier. It was like there's been an accident. I think the cars are just stopping because there are people there. To our left, hotel, sell point. Mind the people. To the right is the museum, where your statues and things, when you find them, your wood carvings will be available. Let's mind the bus. And this was another one. So this one here is this is Waffle Hut South. Yes, I'm sure it is. Let me just check my notes. Then write it on the other one. Yes, this is Waffle Hut South. You'll see in a moment. Like I say, it's a little thing. It's just made to be grin. Farmers Market sell point just there. A little bit further along, we have got our barrel factory. This is the factory that we own on all three game modes. So we have got the barrel factory just in here. And then out from the barrel factory, I can't understand if the barrel factory or the carpenter on here maybe did loads of other stuff, but they don't seem to. Then we got a huge sawmill. Now this is again silver and forest style. We have got a warehouse purchase point here at the front, so this is the sawmill warehouse purchase point, and this only does the base things that the sawmill can produce. So if you didn't want to run the sawmill but you need the items, you can come to here. Why is that not working? There you go, open pallet shop, planks long, wood beam, prefab wall, then back to planks again. When you purchase those, they become available around the side. Actually, that's interesting, because once before we had a map and we couldn't open the side door to get in to get the items. Oh, there we go, we can, that's good. Better check. So this isn't a sawmill as in a sawmill. That's the top of the hill. This is a sell point. So we've got sawmill sell point is the front here. Just there for sell wood. Over there we've got a debris crusher. And that is the facility. Now I don't think, let me just double check this, I don't think we can purchase this plot. No, we can't. So you can't even add to it with respect to decorative items, other sell points, silos, storage, whatever it might be. If you were going to do a load of logging and you wanted to make it a base of operations, unfortunately we don't have the ability to do that on this one. Now, across the way, just here, we've got Waffle Hut North. Waffle Hut South was that side of the road, the northern side of the road. I know, I get it. I know, it just, let's say it's that thing of, what? Anyway, so 2 Waffle Huts on the same street, gas station just here. Then across the way we have got the vintage clothing store just here. Over the back there we have got Sunnyside Cafe just round behind that building there. Continue a bit further on. We should come to the fire department, which is just there. Sell point down the side. And then finally we come to the vehicle shop just here. Workshop trigger around the back, and this is the reset point for the map. So your vehicle's equipment machinery will spawn here and reset here. Now I'm going to go airborne again. So we're currently here. So this is the bottom corner. Southwest. Let's go right way across, all the way up there. Southeast. Up to our northeast, and I'm checking everywhere. I just haven't come across anywhere for iron ore. No, suddenly thought, is there a base game? Is there a DLC that had that stuff in? But if that's the case, again, I'll come back to, if that's the case, why are these factories in here with no facility for iron ore? Because not everyone wants to go and buy pallets. Not everyone wants to say, you know what, I'll skip that process and we'll just buy metal. Like I say, again, if that was intended, why is that facility there? If I have missed it somewhere, I can only apologise. I can't. Yeah, don't know. But that is the map. That is Greenwood Forest by AE Maping. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then of course, please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.